My name is Simbongile, and I would love to welcome back all of you to my channel. And it's me, the one and only Simbongile, the upcoming motivational speaker. Yeah. So today I will be covering a topic of top things learned on becoming a better software developer. Most of the cases we come to work and we come to work not really prepared, like mentally for the environment, physically for whatever things that may come along the way or anything etc. So like now I would love to cover in 4 topics, and the topics that I'm going to cover are time management and know how to prioritize your task, and also it will be like repeating the same thing over and over again, and self-discipline. I love mostly to focus more on self-discipline and time management in a way of the reason I'm focusing in these points that I've mentioned earlier on is that most of the cases when we come to work like it's a norm day. Okay, I'm going to work, I'm going to do whatever task that I'm given, and I'm going to submit whatever task at this time of the day or whatever. And then but now as time goes by, when we come to work, we are not. When we come to work, and then like now the pressure is there. The manager, for example, your manager stress you out on saying like the date like is close by, and then you'll have to submit your task, and then sometimes you are given a lot of work, and then you feel like this work is too much, and then like now you don't have the time to really sit down with yourself and plan your day. And then like I would love to say to you, sometimes it's better to plan things before you do them. Don't just go to work and then you be like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, because of when you go there, you don't know what's going to happen when you are there. Many things could happen. For example, you can go to a meeting, and then like when you are in a meeting, times goes, and then like now when you come back, you'll have to restructure your mind, or restructure yourself so that you can be able to adjust in that certain moment. So like most of the things, like key things that I personally have learned, and I would love each and everyone out there to use them, is that know how to manage your time. For example, when you were back in high school, taking you back in high school, there were things like that were called like timetables, whereby at 8 o'clock I need to be at school. 8:30 maybe, for example, I'm starting my classes at 11 and there's a tea time break. Around those times, along the day, you know, okay, there's a first period which is 50 minutes. After that first period, there's a second period which is maybe another 50 minutes. So if you can take our minds back in the days, not really like a long time ago, but like take your mind a few years back when you were in high school, for example, and then try to adjust your mind in that timetable that you used to work through with. And then like if you can try to maintain the standard that your mind was introduced into when you were back in high school, and also when, for example, some were in college, some were in university. And then if you can try most of the times to adjust that timetable or that memory of you when you were like back in those times, and then try to implement it like now in your work environment, even if you are not really a software developer, but in your work environment, and then try to actually like implement that timetable back then. And then you will see that if you can implement that thing, you will know that okay, when you come to work, one thing, okay, you'll know what to do. What I mean by that thing, you will sit down and then you'll be like, at 9 I have a stand-up, for example, meeting which is 15 minutes, and then after that I'll have to go back to my desk. I'll have to take 5 minutes to prepare myself for the day, and then after that 5 minutes I'll have to breathe for like maybe for 3 minutes or 2 minutes, and then so that I could be able to bring back my mind from the meeting, and then from there, and then you will work your day. And the reason I'm saying so, because of most people, when they come to work, they just come and then they don't plan, and then they just do work, and then like sometimes that thing it affects like your personal life mentally, in a way of you will end up not being disciplined. Like if they say okay, you are working this way, and then like now they say 10, you will just 10 without like having to prepare for that turning point, which is like we never know what might happen. For example, a person will be driving a car and then like going to N2, maybe to Cape Town, and then when you're going to take Cape Town, there are many routes in the way that you there are many routes that you can take, and there are many routes that you can take only because of the circumstances of maybe the traffic, and then you'll be like, okay, this is a shortcut or something. And then sometimes those things, like you not prepare, you do not prepare them, but they just happen automatically in a way. So like I would love to say, like in the work environment, if you can take most of the things that you've learned back in the days, that's my point. Most of the things that you've learned, like when you were in high school or university or in college, and then try to implement them. Have a structure, have a timetable, be strict to that thing. If a person comes and then like be like, can you go out for this? Can you go out for 15 minutes? Check yourself and then check your timetable. Is that going to disturb you? If yes, then you'll have to learn to say no. Finish what you do and then do better than you think you can. Do more than you think you can. And then what I mean by this thing, by these 3 points, is that when you come to work, don't move to the next project or task without finishing the one that you do. And then by this thing, I would say taking it like to discipline. When, for example, we wake up in the morning, most of the cases we will like, first thing I wake up, my plan will be I'll have to fix my bed, and then after when I fix my bed, I'll have to fix my bed in a certain position or in a way, and then when I fix my bed, I'll have to make sure it's neat and clean, and then like now and then I'll have to make sure that my bed it's neat and clean. So when my bed is neat and clean, then from there I can move on to another task, which is going to the shower and then taking a shower on, and then from there I know, okay, I have to spend 30 minutes, for example, or an hour in a shower, and then after spending this time, I'll have to go and then wear my clothes, and then after wearing my clothes, it's an hour or 30 minutes, and then after wearing my clothes, I'll have to go make myself a cup of coffee. And then when you check this thing, then it's kind of in a way of it's a kind of a thing whereby you creating, for example, this ritual, if I would say, and then when you create this ritual, it stays there, like you continue with it each and every day until like you become perfect with it. So like the reason I'm saying so, because of when you come to work, so if you can have also the mentality of the early mentality, a routine that you usually do early in the morning, you finish what you do and then you move on to another task, and then you finish what you do, move on to another task, and then for the second time you make sure you do better than the one that you make sure you do better than the last task that you were basically doing. You're actually like doing something that is like new. You'll have to basically like learn to repeat that same thing more and over again. For example, like if let's say when a baby is basically growing, and then when that baby is growing, when they do something, when they say a word, for example, they will want to say mama, and then but when they start, they'll say ma, but until they repeat that thing, and the more they repeat that thing, the better they become. So meaning you as a software developer, the more you repeat something, the better you become at it, until you'll be not saying be perfect, but you'll be in 100% close to being perfect. As they say, there's no one that's perfect or something like that. So that